So how to make a very simple humanoid character in Blender. What I did earlier was I put the other objects on in another collection here, and I made that collection now invisible, so it doesn't interfere. What I will also do, I will make the plane invisible so that I only have this cube here to play with. And nothing else. Okay, so I will use the box modeling technique to make this into a humanoid character. And my idea is to use this basic box for the body of the character, and then give it a little bit more geometry and extrude as needed. And I think I'm not even going to use the mirror modifier for this. We're going to use it tomorrow, on Thursday, sorry, but not today. So first I need to make the body a little bit more body shaped. Like torso, to be more accurate. This will be the torso. Okay, that will do. So I'm using the same techniques that we tried out in the morning. Okay, and as you can see, I have already made a couple of loop cuts here, and that's just the beginning. I want to make 2 loop cuts in this direction as well. So my plan, in short, is to take out the head from here and take out the arms from here, and then, well, the legs from down here. But I want to give the body a little bit more shape before I do that. So first I'll flatten it a bit more. Yeah, I think that's better. And then for the loop cuts, Control R. I click once, and this time I'll make it one at a time because I want to put these in a specific place. Here, this is where I want the character's arms to go out, and another loop cut, Control R. And I want to give it a little bit of a pelvis shape. There we go. And maybe I'll press S already and make the pelvis. There we go. I have the tendency to go too much into detail in this phase, so I'm trying to not let myself go. But I do want to make the shoulders a little bit smaller. Okay, the way I'll do this is I'll just, or maybe this would work. I'll just click on this middle face here, and I'll resize it in the x-axis. So I click S and X. Yeah, as you can see, the rest of the body, or whatever we want to call it, follows all the rest of it. Yeah, and maybe I'll make a little bit of shoulders already, like this. Yeah, it starts looking more like a human torso now. And maybe even I'll have the edge select. Clicked number 2 for the edge select, and I'll pull this a little bit out. Yeah. Okay. Then back to the face select, and I select this face, and up we go with E. That's the first extrusion. For the neck, let's see if I want to make it, change its shape already or not. Maybe not. The second extrusion, E, and up. All right. And maybe one extrusion here for the so-called face. There we go. And I'll have the edge select for this and pull it. And maybe make it S and Y. Okay, not exactly a head yet, but something like it. It was actually better before. Right. Yep. Yeah, that starts looking a little bit better. A bit more humanoid, maybe. To have some sort of neck. And S and Y again. Yep. And yes, I'm going too much into the detail. Okay, going on. And time for the legs. So like I said, I'm not going to use any mirroring with this. Well, maybe a little bit. For now, I've only done symmetrical things, but for all cases, I put this symmetry axis here, like enable symmetry in the y-axis. So whenever I move things, for instance, here, then there will be a symmetrical thing happening in the other side. I should perhaps have mentioned this earlier, but I'm mentioning it now. So yes, I was that was designed that I was making only symmetrical moves earlier, so that the symmetry would be maintained. Okay, back to face select, and I have decided, by the way, to extrude these a little bit more, and I shift selected these ones, these faces. If you have a lot of faces to select, you can select. You can also use you can click C, and then you get this sort of brush selection tool. Now it's a little bit big, so before I select anything, I can just, with 2 fingers, I can make this brush selection bigger or smaller. So I'm using my 2 fingers now. So now it's like painting the selection. But now it painted a little bit too much, so I have to shift click on this one. And the thing with this selection mode is that you can't turn the model anywhere. If you want to again turn it, you have to click enter and go out of that mode. So there were not many faces to select, but sometimes you might have, and often you have a lot of faces to select. Okay, I'm extruding this a little bit more before I go to the actual legs. I don't know if you noticed, but I want to make this into a womanly shape. So I want to give her a butt. Well, even if it was a man, I'd like to give him a butt. Anyway, now I need to select the middle face and make it a little bit, well, S and Y. Okay, so now the legs have something between them, but not too much. Then I select these 2 faces and extrude them. And for that purpose, I want to be a little bit further away so I can see what I'm doing. Also, ideally, I want to be looking at it from the front. So I clicked here on the X. So extrude, and down we go. And she does look a little bit like a woman already. And then extrude another time. Fat legs. And one more time. Go to the details later, which is now. So remember that I do have the symmetry on. So whatever I do on this side will be reflected on the other side, like so. Looks like she has these 1970s jeans now. There we go. And a bit more shape here as well. Okay, that was unexpected. Anyway, back to face select and out with the feet. And maybe just S and Z axis.
Carita,
Yes.
how did you get the knee that narrow, like when you were tightening the leg so that you can have the upper thighs and lower thighs? Which kind of selection tool did you use?
Well, I used the edge select and then went inside the knee.
Oh, yeah, of course. Thank you.
But when I'm going in this direction, I have to be careful, because now you can see that because there's a Z-axis. Oh no, sorry, the X-axis is not mirroring. No, it's not doing it right. So if I want to go forward with the knees, then I need to either put the X-axis mirroring symmetry here also, or select both of them. Like so. But as we don't have much geometry yet, it's fairly simple to select both. Okay, and now I see that the head is much too small, so I would need to either make it bigger or put more geometry on top of it. So maybe I just make it fatter. Like this. Then for extruding the two arms, so that there's not like mirror modifier going on. There's it's also possible to do, but a little bit trickier. So I'll show you the trick if you ever need it. So the other thing I could do, of course, is I could split the whole character in two, then use a mirror modifier, and then afterwards just make it whole again. And that's what we're going to do on Thursday. But right now I want to show you something a little bit different. Okay, so I have both of these faces selected here, and I want to extrude them. But if I extrude them now, then this will happen. I click E, and they will both extrude in weird directions. Not good. So I need to extrude them on the y-axis and in different ways. So, okay, if I remember correctly, it was here under faces. Yes. Extrude individual faces. Yeah, I think it was that one. So let me just do this. Yeah, it's working. And then I click S to make them a little bit smaller, but yeah, I think this is good. And then I extrude again with the same technique. Extrude individual faces. And once more. Kiertokielen perä, like we say in Finland. So now again, I would have to make it look better in shape. And it should work. Yes. And if you have your loop selection working, then you can, of course, select the whole loop and then change the shape of your character's arm. Okay, and I see there's there has been a mistake. It has made the extrusion twice here. So mistakes sometimes happen, and this one doesn't look very nice. So I'll look at it from the wireframe model. Okay, so it has made the extrusions in the wrong directions. Okay, I'll just go back a few steps, and I need to make the arms again. This is very inconvenient, but it's good to make these checks every once in a while. Okay, so back from where I started. Extruding. Extrude individual faces. And do it once more. And once more. And now I want to go and check immediately that things are as they should be. Yes, this time it looks pretty good. Yeah, no mistake this time. And I'm not going to make thumbs for this character because it was supposed to be just like a very simple model. On Thursday, however, I do want to make a character with an opposable thumb, not necessarily human, but humanoid. Okay. The head is still a little bit small, but yeah, that could be still made better. Maybe it would be just enough to make it fatter from here. It's y-axis. famously bad on heads, by the way, in 3D. So I'll just let it be for now to not make it even worse. Okay, so now I have the like basic character, and I could now make the other things visible in the scene to see a little bit of like how it needs to be. Okay, there's the plane on the rock, and as I can see that the character is very big. You go back away from edit mode and make it smaller, because this was not the size that I wanted to have, or the scale, I mean. Could be even smaller. Yeah, it's better than this way. And it's still inside the floor. Yeah, the snapping was interfering with making the loop cut, so I put the snapping off for now. All right, so maybe the character could have another color, another material. Okay, blue has been used a lot here, so maybe light blue or a darker blue or red. Yeah, blue is better this time. And then I could give the character a little bit more detail. And this time I'm going to use the modifiers. I've spoken about the modifiers before, and let's try them out now. Okay, and it has its hand in the stone. Okay, modifiers. So modifiers can be found here under this wrench icon. And the modifier I'm looking for is called multi-resolution. And right now, I can't see anything. I have to click this button called subdivide. And this will happen then. So now it's a little bit smoother. It has made this sort of false geometry that I can make real if I want to, but I'm not in a hurry to do it yet. So it makes the character also a little bit, it shrinks it a little bit. And I can also click here on the shade smooth. So yes, now we have a generic human character in the scene. And instead of calling it cube, I could call it humanoid. Humanoid 1.
Where did you click for the shade smooth, or?
Yes. Here, object and shade smooth.
Okay.
But you have to be in object mode for it to work. And also the modifiers work only if you're out of the edit mode and in the object mode. Now, if I go back to edit mode,
excuse me, Carita.
Yes.
For me, the modifier doesn't change the values, even though I'm in object mode.
Okay. Were you in the object mode when you?
No, I mean, yeah, sorry.
Okay, good. And you selected the multi-resolution?
Yeah.
And you click the subdivide button.
All right. Yeah, I missed that. Thank you.
Yeah, it's easy to miss. They should make it big and green or something. Like my spontaneous way of doing this would be to, well, I see here the levels of subdivision. I want to click here and add to the subdivision, but instead it's here as a different button. It's very strange. So anyway, you can also say here that how many subdivisions it will render and how many it will show here in the viewport. So those numbers can be different. All right. And maybe while I'm at it, I could give this little human another shade, or maybe not. Maybe I'll just leave it like that. But you can do it. You can give your objects in the scene some textures. By the way, I put the recording of the morning session into Moodle. It has a YouTube link, and you could check, by the way, that it's working, or if it's working. Okay, so any questions about the humanoid character?
I just have a question. I'm in object mode and I try to give my character another base color, and I selected something, but it doesn't show on my character. Is there some issue that there might be?
You gave another base color for the character, but it doesn't show.
Yeah, I was in the wrong mode up there. I think I wasn't in the render mode, so it didn't show. Okay.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. If you were in this mode, then nothing shows up. That's right. Okay, good. That worked out. I'm a little bit thinking about going to the sculpt mode and making quick adjustments to how the character holds its hands, because it's looking very stiff now, like a doll. So, but maybe I'll at first straighten it up. So now it has a rotation of 45 degrees. So I'll put that to 0 and make a copy of it by duplicating it. There we go. Now it has a sister or brother. And while I'm at it, I make the other objects invisible for a while. Okay, the sister or brother may wait here. And at this point, it's a nice thing to save. Okay, object mode and off to sculpt mode. Okay, you will be going to sculpt mode a lot with Ida later on. What I want to do here is like just quick tweaks in how it's showing the character. Also, I make the plane and the rock invisible for now, and the other humanoid. Okay. Also, I took the tools out with N, and here you can see also the sculpting tools, and the symmetry is still on for the y-axis. I probably should also enable it for the x-axis. So let's see, which tool am I looking for? The pose tool. Yes, that should do it. So with the pose tool, I can make these very quick, like bit like riggings, and then just drag the arms around. Okay, so that didn't work. Okay, last time I used this, it was not as tricky.
Do you have to somehow activate the pose tool? Because I can see the yellow circles like you have, but I don't see the dots on the figure. Like it doesn't show when I scroll over my my human.
Let's see, if I click away from the no, it's not about the symmetry. So basically it should show these dots all the time, but what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to use the shifts and control buttons to actually control those.
Oh, I think I figured it. I think it shows only on the brother human that I created, and not on the human that I've been starting with. But at least it shows on one of those. So
Okay.
yep.
So I could have, of course, also gone directly to the sculpting work place. Okay. So yeah, perhaps we'll do this on Thursday when I have had time to figure this out. Also, what I wanted to show you on Thursday was how to make a quick rigging so that you can well, pose your characters with the rig, and that you understand how that works. Okay, I'll get away from the sculpt mode and back to the layout window. All right, it's now almost 2 o'clock. So how about if I give you now half an hour to work on your scenes, and then 2:15 we'll be here again, or maybe 2:30. Maybe 2:30 is better. 45 minutes, and then I'd like to see what you have done with the scene so far. How does that sound?
Are we returning it to Moodle then?
Yes, when you're ready with it.
Like
So
the BNG, and we're looking the BNGs or whatever picture. The render result has a 2:15.
You don't need to have the render results then. Just a minute, I'll stop sharing and stop the recording.